Hi, Margarita. Thank you so much for kicking things off here. You know, that's not always the easiest thing to do. So, this is not the first time you've kicked off our discussion board. So, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Let's go and jump right over to your work. This is just spectacular. I just love this typeface. I think you have worked your rear end off on this project, and it shows because this is darn good work. The level of consistency here is really, I think it's quite remarkable. I think that there's a really good relationship between the uppercase letters, the lowercase character set, the numeric character set. A little bit, I want to say the punctuation is it could use a little bit of refinement. So we've got a lot of these kind of, let me just jump over to the I in Inception. You got that kind of tapered look right there, and we've got like these really almost organic lines being formed, but then the punctuation itself is just, it just doesn't at all. The periods are fine, they're kind of oblong, that's fantastic, but the quotes and the commas, they just don't look like they belong with the same character set. So for that reason, I would recommend that you do this. You see that tittle for the I? Use that for all of your dots, the dotted elements. Okay, so the dot underneath the exclamation point and the question mark should consist of that. All right. Boy, you did something really smart here. It looks like you took this part upper loop of the 3 and used it to create the exclamation point. That's good stuff. Smart. So let's just go ahead and work out those it's all based on the comma, right? So let's just go ahead and work that out. Just get a little bit of a higher degree of visual harmony between the punctuation and the design elements and the visual elements you've used in the letter forms. Okay, so I want to look at the lowercase. My first inclination looking at the lowercase letter forms is that some of your vertical strokes are really thin. And I think that's true. I think if there's one complaint I would have about this typeface is that some of your vertical strokes right through, that's really thin right through here. I would thicken those up a little bit. Not too much though, because it is working. It's very readable and very legible for a display or a kind of a decorative face. I think that it's got a high degree of legibility. So that's something you should really be proud of. I think that's really super interesting. The only other comment I have is I think the N is too thin. I really do. I think the N is really thin. And if you hold it up against some of the other letter forms, you can see it here. As we look at it in the alphabet, we don't really it doesn't really seem so. But when we look at it in the Inception, it just seems like this doesn't have the same kind of strong base that the other letter forms have. For that reason, I would just increase the angle a little bit, widening that end just a little bit. Okay, but as I was saying in some of the vertical strokes in the in the lowercase letter form, I think some of them are a little bit thin. We can see it here right through the U, and of course we're going to do this. We're going to do this thing where we zoom out. And we can see, now we're starting to see what I'm talking about. You see that lowercase just doesn't have the same contrast as the uppercase. And for that reason, like I said, I would just increase some of those strokes just a hair, not much at all, a pixel maybe. Not much more than that at all, just a little bit. Okay, keywords look fantastic. Good job, great job. I'm loving it. Really fantastic work. Okay, any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you very much.